all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Happening now at 9, covering the entire DMV. It doesn't matter if you're young or old, gun violence is a risk for everyone in DC. We'll look at a seminar aiming to fight violence against youths and other shootings here in the district. A teenager killed in a shooting outside a community center. The latest on Saturday's shooting out of Woodbridge. And this isn't the kind of rubby-ducky you find in the bath. We'll have a look at a very special art piece making a stop here in the DMV. Thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 9. I'm Haley Mylon in for Ben Dennis. First, we'll start with a look at our weather. Scott Sumner, how are things looking outside?
Right now, fine, but the reason why we're starting off with a weather alert is because of tomorrow's weather. Right now, we're okay, mostly cloudy and 83 degrees. That's not too bad. We have a north to northeast breeze at about 7 miles an hour. The dew point has come up a little bit, that dew point temperature. But like I said, high pressure is in control. But the reason why we're doing a weather alert at the top of the broadcast here is because we have another round of severe weather due to this storm well out towards the Plains states this evening and its associated warm front. That's going to move in our direction overnight tonight through the morning and into tomorrow afternoon and slowly drag its cold front eventually through the region on Tuesday. But it will bring some severe weather. We've already seen severe weather with thunderstorms in Tennessee and then out towards southern Missouri at this hour, at this late hour anyway. Now, our severe outlook as we go throughout the evening tonight is quiet, but as far as severe threats, as you can see here, we're looking at wind, hail, tornadoes potentially, and possible even some flooding as a couple of the prime threats here during the course of tomorrow afternoon. So be on guard once again. Another start to your work week, another active start to your week. Well, like I said, partly cloudy skies at 11, 1 a.m. partly cloudy, and 4 a.m. partly cloudy. Temperatures dropping out of the 80s and getting into the 70s for tomorrow. We'll sum up our forecast here coming up in a little bit and show you that 7-day, which also has some heat in it, too, down the road. Haley?
Scott, thank you. 67 juveniles have been shot in Washington, D.C. so far this year, according to D.C. police. That's 25 more compared to the same time last year. Youth violence is a growing concern around the city. DC News Now's Dave Laval joins us from Georgetown and tells us how one group works to change that. Dave, what have you learned?
Good evening, Haley. Well, as you said, youth violence is definitely a growing problem around the DMV, especially DC. Now, one group has taken another step to reduce youth violence.
Kids and adults gather at the Arc in Southeast D.C. One of the topics, how to stay out of trouble. Group leader and anti-violence activist Ronald Moten said kids offered a suggestion.
They need platforms. They want to say, let's use apps and things like that to get positive things out about what they're doing and what they can do or the things they need.
They take part in the Stop the Violence Youth Summit hosted by Play for Life.
It's our number one concern.
Javon Gordon is with Play for Life. He and others stress many young children can turn to violence because they have nowhere else to go. But a goal of the Youth Summit is to guide young children towards positive influences.
We're here to just make sure that you got a place, a space that you can come to for resources, information, help, just simple conversation at times.
They want to be active. They want to be involved.
Diane Chin is also with Play for Life. She says families and young children often don't know where to go for help. Enter Play for Life.
In that case, that's where we're trying to be the central house, I guess, and making sure that we can connect the dots for people.
Such as more recreational activities for youth where they can settle their differences on the court, not on the streets.
This is the second Youth Violence Summit hosted by Play for Life. More events are planned. We're live in Georgetown. Dave Laval, DC News Now.
Dave, thank you for that report. Along with violence among juveniles, DC police are investigating 3 separate late-night shootings with 1 fatality. We start with the shooting on Kenilworth Avenue in Northeast. DC police arrived on the scene just before 11 p.m. last night, finding 2 adult male victims and 1 pronounced dead on the scene. The other was rushed to a nearby hospital to be treated for life-threatening injuries. And less than 2 hours before that, D.C. police also responded to a shooting on Butler Street in Southeast. Just before 10 p.m., they located 2 people suffering from gunshot wounds. Police say the victims said they'd been taking photos for social media when someone shot them. They were evaluated at a nearby hospital. And to Northwest D.C. Just before midnight, D.C. police also located a gunshot victim on Randolph Road. They found the victim breathing and conscious after sustaining gunshot wounds to both the head and the leg. Investigators say 17 shots were fired at the scene, also peppering nearby vehicles. And tonight, after a violent weekend, all 3 of these incidents are under investigation. No suspects are in custody. If you know anything about any of these shootings, call D.C. police. And to Maryland, Greenbelt police desperately searching for a missing French teacher, and they're asking for the public's help. Miriam Touré Silla disappeared on July 29th near her home after taking a walk at a nearby park that she often visits. Our Leonard N. Fleming spoke exclusively with her sister, who flew in from the Ivory Coast to help locate her loved one.
Fati Touré is concerned about her sister's disappearance because she's very regimented in her daily life. So for her to simply vanish is unusual. And police here in Greenbelt also are stumped because they haven't had any leads.
It's more easier to say somebody is dead, but somebody disappeared. We don't know what to think.
Fati Touré is speaking about her sister, Miriam Touré Silla, who mysteriously vanished July 29th near her Greenbelt home in Prince George's County. Touré flew here Monday from the Ivory Coast, Africa, to help in the search for her sister, who is a French teacher and very religious in her Muslim faith.
We are still expecting to see Miriam.
Greenbelt police have not had success in tracking what happened to Miriam. Police Chief Richard Bowers.
We continue to need the public's help in doing that. We have to this point not been able to locate her.
Friends and family say Miriam oftentimes left her apartment complex behind me to walk here to Shrome Hills Park, where she took long walks. It was also where police say Miriam was last seen around 8 p.m., around the time family and friends say she prays.
We're very concerned of her disappearance.
Renee Harris lives nearby Miriam and remembers her fondly.
Because we know who she is, because we've seen her out here walking. We speak to her, we speak to one another.
Posters with pictures of Miriam's face dot this community, and her parking space, C4, remains empty. Touré is fearful of the worst.
I don't know how to say that, expected that we will find her. But now we are 10 days. More the days are going on, more I'm afraid to have a bad news.
The last communication Fati had with her sister was 3 days before her disappearance, and she said her sister seemed to be in good spirits. Meanwhile, the search continues, and Fati says she remains optimistic. Reporting in Greenbelt, Maryland, Leonard N. Fleming, DC News Now, back to you.
Leonard, thank you. We also have an update on yesterday's shooting outside of a Woodbridge Community Center. We now know that the victim in the shooting was a 17-year-old male who has since died from his injuries. Prince William County Police say it appears that the teen was in the Toyota you're looking at right now while waiting for other parties in the parking lot, with gunshots fired at one point. The identity of the victim has not been released, and police say that this was likely not a random shooting. We'll continue to provide updates as they become available. And to Fairfax County, police arrested a man in connection to a shooting in the High Bluff Valley neighborhood of Alexandria. They say that 29-year-old Montez Damone Fagan shot a woman as she sat in a car with her infant. The woman was rushed to the hospital, and the infant is now in the care of another family member. Investigators say Damone Fagan and the victim knew each other. Damone Fagan is being held without bond. In Frederick, Maryland, some folks are dealing with a rat problem. People living in the Carrollton neighborhood say they're seeing an infestation, and they think that ongoing construction is to blame. Pest control and city officials are aware of the problem.
Out of those snap traps, I have captured 22. I've never seen anything like that. We have contracted with a professional exterminator to basically survey that neighborhood along with our Department of Public Works and Code Enforcement.
City officials plan to come up with new policies and legislative measures to address the rat issue. Eviction filings in Northern Virginia are on the rise. Rent prices are increasing and tenants are struggling to keep up. According to the Eviction Lab, filing rates in Arlington County have increased by 15% in the past year compared to pre-pandemic rates. And in Fairfax County, evictions are up about 4%. The Northern Virginia Affordable Housing Alliance is also tracking increased eviction filing rates in those counties.
Increases in rent have definitely been making it much harder for tenants to stay in their homes.
We have to hear these stories daily from our community members, which they tend to be, the working class families, immigrant families.
And advocates are urging local government officials to invest in housing and additional rent relief funding. And welcome back to your news. The time now is 9:11. The state of Maryland is holding a series of town hall meetings to talk about the importance of transforming the electrical grid with both wind and solar power. Our Steve Cohen attended one of those meetings in Hagerstown. He has reaction from residents.
So just how realistic is Maryland's green energy future?
I am interested to hear how the state plans to reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 60% by 2031. Solar, wind, yeah.
Those plans were revealed in a climate town hall here at Hagerstown Community College, part of a statewide series of public forums on making the transition to green energy. Middletown resident Paul Walker is taking money from the Inflation Reduction Act to make the transition.
I'm looking to get rid of and maybe use IRA funds to first get rid of my gas dryer.
So-called environmental justice is the agenda of Governor Wes Moore's new administration. That means phasing out fossil fuels consumption. But Renee Bergen, who lives in Hagerstown, wants the elimination of certain widely used fertilizers and pesticides she says are polluting the atmosphere and killing insects critical to the ecosystem.
It's amazing to me that in other states and other countries that there are these products that have been banned and known toxic chemicals.
In December, the state will release our plan saying here are the new policies and programs we're going to put in place to make this transition happen.
The public forums will continue throughout the state into the fall. Reporting from Hagerstown, Stephen Cohen, DC News Now.